Welcome back to CAS 133, Columbia Gorge Community College, the Dells, Oregon. Mrs. Hewitt, instructor. This is going to be our week 1 lecture introduction. You've done your beginning of classwork that you should already have finished. That was talked about in the Start Here video. And now we're into week 1. Obviously the dates will change to go with that. May say even topic 1 depending on how it's set up if I make some changes. When you open something, you will get the check mark for required. On ones that are not required, you'll have the solid box that you can add the check mark to. So let's walk through how a week is structured. You'll get your introduction at the top. They'll kind of tell you what we're focusing on that week. Your objectives will be right below that. You'll have if you get stuck, look here for some help. It's optional. It's not a required. Hence, the box is the solid box you can add a check mark to. But it is really helpful that you go back there and look if you're not sure how to do something. Maybe you can't get the sound to work, or you're not sure how to upload a file, or you've got not sure how to use Paint, something like that. You can go here and look for it. It'll help support you through the unit. But as I said, they're not required. So let's go to the required work. Notice this is in bright red. That's because it's required. The first week I have it in red, and then it'll kind of go back to the blue after that, so it matches the course. So here's your Start Here directions. So you're obviously listening to that right now. What is a PC versus a Mac? Sometimes students aren't aware of those terms. A PC is a Windows-based computer. It runs Microsoft operating system on it. A Mac is made by the Apple Corporation or a Macintosh. It runs a different operating system. If you're not sure what you have, this is a good place for you to go ahead and look. On your computer, if you right-click and you have your computer there or computer here, right-click, go to Properties. It'll open up a window that'll show you what you're running. Like I'm a Windows 7 Home Premium. Now that's for a PC. For a Mac, it's probably not quite the same way, and most Mac people know they're using a Mac. However, if you're not quite sure, you can check there and make sure you know which one you're using. Then for those of you that are on a PC or a Windows computer, you're going to start right here. And you're going to, anytime you see a folder, you're going to open that folder. And then you're going to look at what's inside the folder. Now there are 3 different WordPad assignment PowerPoints. You don't have to watch all 3. Obviously, you pick the one that goes with your computer. My computer is a Windows 7, so that's the one I'll go with. I will tell you, if you're running an XP or Vista, you're going to be able to do very little on it in this class. It's going to get pretty limited. You're going to really need to have a more updated computer for this class. College machines are Windows 7. You can go up there and work. Public library machines are more updated. So if you don't have a more updated machine, you're probably going to need to have a outside of your house type of work experience for most of the class. So how do I get this thing? Well, I'm going to right click and I'm going to save link as, or I can also do a save target as. Depends on the browser you're using to which will come up. So I'll do a save link as. I'm using Google Chrome, so can't say that sentence. Typically, it will download along the bottom, so I can choose now whether I want to put it on my desktop or if I have a flash drive plugged in, I can choose that. Tell it to save. Here it comes down along that toolbar. Then I can click on it to open it from there, which I'll do in a second. We'll let it download and we'll continue on. If you're doing a Windows 8 machine, you're going to want to watch this video. It gives you some directions on how to find things in Windows 8, which isn't always the easiest thing to do. Then you'll repeat that for the directions for Paint. And again, pick the version that is yours. Download it, watch it, listen to it. We'll talk a little bit more about that here in a second. Here are the directions for the Windows Operating System test. You're going to want to, again, download those. And then you're going to want to open this link, and these are the step-by-step directions of what you need to do. Now, if you're a Mac person, hang on. Don't give up at this point. Keep listening. We're about to get to Macs here in a second. Also, if you don't know how to zip a file, here's how to zip a file in a PC. Now, this is for everybody on a PowerPoint. If you don't know how to get sound, you're going to open the PowerPoint. Most of the time after they've been downloaded, they're going to do this Enable Editing. So you're going to click Enable Editing. It apparently is going to think about it today a little bit. There it goes. And then you want to go down to this little mark down here. It says slideshow, and you want to put this in a full slideshow. Once you do that, you can now click on the audio files and listen to the PowerPoints. And it is important you listen to each slide as you do it. Now, for those of you that are PCs, do not give up and quit at this point. There's some more information to follow here shortly. And for the rest of you that are Mac users, here come your directions. You're going to have an assignment direction because you don't have kind of the same PowerPoint setups that the PCs do. So you're going to come in here. It's going to give you kind of your steps. It's going to give you your assignment directions for each one of those assignments. And then the materials to support that are found right here. So how do you save a Pages, document, and other file formats? So go ahead and open that up, check it out, make sure you watch the video. Mac Paintbrush, you are going to have to download, and I believe the directions have a possible link, or you can just Google and find it. But Mac Paintbrush is going to be your paint program, so you'll have to go get that. Directions for a Mac for the OS performance test are right here. They're basically a PowerPoint as well. And then you have your step-by-step directions, which is what I was really meaning to click on. Very much like your PC directions. So you're basically doing the same assignments. You're just using slightly different programs because each operating system has some slightly different options with it. Then you're going to submit it down below that. And I'm going to update these names on it a little bit so it shows that it's both WordPad and Pages, Paint and Paintbrush, and it's going to say upload OS performance test here. And then you have your disaster recovery form. And then we will be back again. Whoops, we're not quite there. One more thing. Are you done? This is just a checklist where you can go in and say, yep, I've done that. Yep, I've done that. Yep, I've done that. Yep, I've done that. And then we'll be back for week 2.